I'm bored, so spend the day with me. First, I gotta make my bed. Yeah. I have quite a few things to do. And I have been lounging around like a sloth, kind of. Because I haven't had much things to do, and because I've been alone. And I actually have quite a few things to do, but I've been lazy. So today I'm gonna get a few of those things checked off and write the rest of the things I need to do on the list for me to get checked off in the next few days. Okay, so what do I need to do? I'm gonna write this down. Where's my book? So firstly, okay. First, I need to pick up parcels. Oh my god, what time is it? Okay, so I need to pick up my parcels. Then do groceries, make grocery lists, and then fill in flight details, pack, plan itinerary. I feel like that's it. Maybe. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's it. So my first up that I want to cancel up today is pick up my parcels, because during the summer break it closes early and I was like 3:20. I only have like 25 minutes to go. It's close by, so. And then I'll do an unboxing. Okay, I think I'm pretty sure I know what this is. So I've been left alone for about how many days now? Since last Monday. Now it's Thursday of the next week, right? So around 2 weeks I've been left alone, and I've already read like 6 books. Thank God for my Kindle, because I don't know how expensive that would have been. But I read the Inheritance Game series, and the first book was 5 out of 5 stars. Like, I loved it so much, because my genre of books, I'm very picky with my books. My genre of books are very, very specific to romance, and not just the like cute, cringy romance. It has to be very like dark, the guy's obsessed with the girl kind of romance. And so I read the Inheritance Games, and I loved how that was the first book where it was like a moral mystery attached. So there was an actual like plot line to the story, instead of the normal romance books that I have, which is just focusing on the like battle of love between those two. So I was quite interested in it, and the fact that I was like pining for like one guy or the other kind of thing, which, spoiler alert if you haven't read it, I was very disappointed that she did not end up with the guy that I wanted. Anyways, I read all 3 books. First book was 5 out of 5 stars. The second and third book were just a 3-star, or was the last book like a 4-star for me. It was okay. I only liked the first book, but because the covers are pretty, I wanted to buy them to just keep on my shelf. Because I normally read books on my Kindle and then for free, right? And then if I love the book, like I rate it 5 out of 5 stars, only then I will buy it. But like it was a 5 out of 5 stars, the first one, but I just wanted to buy it because I thought it looked good on my shelf, which, you know, at least I did read it. So I tried searching it online, and most of them were like around the same price, except for on Amazon you can buy it like secondhand, like used. So I got that. No, I wanted the other covers. Hell nah. No. And it came like this. Are you serious? No. Oh my god. No, this book is so... Oh my god, the UK covers are so ugly. I'm sure this is the UK cover. No, I wanted the other covers. Okay. Only 2 of them arrived. I'm not sure where the 3rd one is, but... Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. I got both the... I don't know what I expected. I mean, at least the spine of the... Oh my god, even the spine of the book is like destroyed. But at least the spine of the books look nice. Oh my god, but I really wanted the other cover. Not this cover. Oh. Okay, I don't know what to do now. Oh my god. Ah. Okay, anyways. This kitchen is literally so clean with me. So, basically, I live in a flat with 6 other people. But recently, I've been the only one here. Like, everyone else has moved out. And it feels so good. Like, it's very fun because it feels like as if this is like my apartment. Like, this whole place is to myself. And so I don't have to worry anymore because I like mornings, but I most of the time tend to sleep late because I don't know if that's a weird thing, but then I'm the type of person who likes to sleep naturally, in the sense where I don't like where I have to put away my phone and like try to fall asleep. I hate that. You know, I like to be the person who scrolls or does whatever. Like if I'm reading on my Kindle, I love to read and my eyes just droop naturally and then I fall asleep. Like I would love to sleep that way every single night, although that never happens. And then so I end up staying out until like 5-6 a.m. and then I wake up late, which I hate because I love mornings, which, you know, I don't know. So normally when that happens during term time, I would be worried to like get so basically since I wake up late, my breakfast is like at 3 and then my lunch is like at like 5, 7ish, and then my dinner is normally like late into the night, like midnight or something. And normally when that happens during term time, I'm scared that I will bother the rest of my flatmates, and so I never really get up and do that, or like I'll have to be very quiet. But now I don't really have to care. I can go to the toilet at whatever time I want. I can like close my door as loud as I want. The kitchen is super clean, because you would think that living with girls means the kitchen is clean. Oh, thing is, one other thing I'm grateful for, that I'm moving out next year to a house of people that I know, is that I discovered living in this flat that the smell of pork is disgusting. I don't think that's like controversial to say. I think the smell of pork is disgusting, and especially since my flat is the first flat in the hall, the smell from the kitchen wafts into my room sometimes, and oh my god, the smell of pork just... And then sometimes, of course, like when you want to cook meat, you have to let it out to like defrost it, right? You have to give time for it to defrost. And so when my flatmates used to leave it out to defrost, that smell, oh my god, yeah, I hate that smell. Yeah, but then, you know, the thing is, in my kitchen and in my hallway, the lights are automatic, meaning no, just everywhere except for my own room, except for the rooms, the lights are automatic, meaning after a while it'll turn off, and then, you know, if it detects movement when someone walks through or something, it turns right on. So technically, if I'm living alone right now, it shouldn't be on if I haven't been out in a while, right? But these past few nights it's been on, and I try not to think too much about it because sometimes I can get really scared at night. But yeah, And then, you know, like I have a friend living in this same building, a floor below. So normally if I'm alone like this, like last week, it was always a comfort to know that there was someone at least I know close by, even though like I rarely ever like, you know, but it was just a comfort to know. It's like I have this like, okay, so I have a fear, not okay, I'm scared of ghosts, but I'm more afraid of like bad people, like psycho people. And so I'm always scared of things like a murderer coming into my house, or like a thief or anything coming into my house and then hurting me in the process of doing whatever, right? I'm more scared of that rather than the fact that there's already a ghost in my house or something. And so even though I live on the top floor of my building, where basically if I were a murderer myself, I would try to target the floors below because that's an easier target. But then I think to myself, like, if I was a murderer too, then, you know, like someone else would have thought that I would choose the easy target. So then I would climb to the third floor instead of the bottom floor, because everyone would know I want to go to the bottom floor because it's easy, you know? And so basically what I'm trying to say is I'm always scared that I would see someone climbing through the window, okay? And knowing that I have a friend in the floor below, that was a comfort to me, thinking that if anything were to happen, you know. But then I find out from another friend that he's not right now in Coventry. I'm just, yeah. But so I try not to think about it. But I have literally taken over my flat. Like, I don't have much stuff because most of my stuff has already been moved to the new house. But the stuff that I do have now, like my toiletries are in the bathroom, because last time I didn't keep it there because I shared the bathroom, right? But now that I'm alone, this literally has turned into my own flat. And I love how I don't have to clean either, because the cleaner still comes every day to clean, which it's not like there's a big mess or anything that I leave, but you know, it's cleaned every single day, so it's like super clean. And that just, you know, one thing I hate that people might not know is that I actually hate sleeping over at someone else's place. I like if it's a friend in the same uni, I can just sleep over, and then the next morning I can just come back to my own room and like shower and do whatever. Basically, I just don't like going to the toilet of someone else's unless it's to pee. Even then, I'm like, because I like being in my own home, in the comfort of my own home. So like to actually like shower and all. So if it's possible, if I'm only staying one night, the fact that I also like night showers a bit more than morning showers. If I'm only staying one night at a friend's place, and I know that by the afternoon I'll be home, I wouldn't shower in the morning, because if there's a chance for me to not use that toilet, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's weird, I know. Anyways, this is my breakfast, and that's quick because I have nothing in the fridge. See, I wanted to go grocery shopping because I have nothing in the fridge anymore. But the fact that I'm leaving in a few days to go for my summer trip, I don't know if I should go to the grocery store anymore, because in a few days I have to clear my fridge because I'll be gone for like 8 days. And then I don't want anything to rot in the fridge or anything. But at the same time, I have nothing to eat. I don't even have Maggi on hand. So, yeah. Normally, I would eat in my room, and because I have anxiety of just sitting here and then someone coming in and like I have anxiety of even cooking in front of someone. So if like I hear someone's in the kitchen, I will try not to go to the kitchen as much as possible until I hear that there's no one in the kitchen anymore, because I'm anxious. I don't want to meet people. And then so basically I rarely ever ate at my dining table here, right? But because I live alone, I can eat here now, and it doesn't stink up my room, which works. Although the past few days I have been eating in my room because suddenly it's super cold in the UK. I don't know what happened to it summer, but this is okay. So people have been missing Malaysia for different reasons. My reason for missing Malaysia is the fact that the weather here is horrible. If I were to choose a different country, like, okay, so the reasons why I don't like studying here is the weather. and the fact that it's exam based, but that's a different story, you know. Like the weather is because it's like it's summer, so that's supposedly the time where it's supposed to be hot, and yet it's not hot. So if you think about it, throughout the whole year, like 365 days, it's probably hot like what? Like 30 days out of 12 months, you know? Like, and my body temperature is, see, that's another thing, because people don't understand why I would want Malaysian weather over here, because here it's like, it's not like you're sweating all the time, but I would prefer being sweaty all the time. Plus, in Malaysia, I don't sweat all the time because I have the body temperature of I don't know what, but my body temperature is very low. That in Malaysia, I find Malaysia cold, okay? Can you imagine in a boarding school, like how hot normally that is? My fan in my dorm room would never be on. When I had a dorm room in my college, my dorm room's fan was never on because I was living alone, so I could turn it on and off whenever I wanted to. And if I were to study with a friend in their dorm room and their fan would be on at like 5, right? You know, the dial, you can turn it to 5. I would have to wear a jacket because it would be cold. So do with that what you may, you know. So I finished my internship poster. Another thing done. Now I'm gonna put in my flight details. And that'll be 3 things off my checklist. Yay! So I filled in my flight details. Filling in important information is so hard for me. Like, I check it again and again because I'm always so scared that I miss something. Like, my biggest fear is that I send it in and then, like, something happens to it. Like, maybe I filled in it wrongly, and then I get an email saying, like, oh, for example, like, I had to fill in my payment form for my internship, and, like, I kept checking their details again and again, although all they asked was the date I started my internship and my name, because after that, they know the rest of my details. But I'm always so scared that I just wait for my payment and then I never get it because I somehow filled it in wrongly, even though I checked like 10 times. You know, like, my friend Mas can definitely vouch for me because I checked my documents last time, like, so many times, like, before sending it in, because I'm so scared, especially if it's like numbers, especially long ones, because there are so many, you know, chances of making mistakes in that number, and then something happens to it just because of a tiny mistake that you made, you know. Yeah. Anyways, I know I have my own internship, but the only reason why I have that internship is because the email came into my mailbox, and if that email had not come, I wouldn't have an internship. Yet why is it that, that's why I feel like nowadays I've been trying to cut out my Instagram and TikTok usage, I guess, because I feel like everything I do feels like a competition. Like, I don't know why, but then, like, I look at people doing internships, like, the reason why I found my internship is because it just fell into my lap, that kind of thing. Whereas I see these other people actually working corporate jobs, which they found their internship by themselves, probably. I don't know where they would even look. Do you get what I mean? I don't know where I look. Like, where I would look. And so, like, it, like, gets me worried sometimes when I see people, like, taking their, like, I don't know what you call this. Studies? No, it's like their career climb, I guess. I don't know. Seriously, because I don't know. At the end of the day, like, I know everyone is on their own journey, and my journey might not look the same as others. You know, like, some people might not be successful no matter how hard they try. Some people might look successful in the later life, like later in life rather than now. And some people might look successful now and just continue to be successful until forever, right? And some people might be in a course that they're not meant to do, right? Stuff like that, you know. But I don't know, I just feel like why is everything a competition? I feel like everything is competition. I don't know if it is to anyone else, but for me, I feel like it's a competition. Like, if, for example, I told someone that I didn't have anything to do during the summer other than travel or something, I feel as though the judgment will be there. But at the same time, I don't know if that's because I was raised in a school where everything was a competition in the past. Like, I wouldn't say I'm smart, but I'm like smart enough, but average smart, if that makes sense. And so I, even then, like, even though I would be scoring like straight B's or something in the past, which would satisfy me as long as it's a B or an A, I don't really mind it, right? But even then people will look down on me, like, because I'm not that smart, that kind of thing. I don't know. So, like, actually, like, seeing other people have internships is kind of making me scared, and I don't know, is that a bad trait to have? Like, I'm kind of envious of them. And then so that's why I feel like it's not healthy for me to go on Instagram and see all these people have internships, because, you know, but at the same time, I feel like if I get off Instagram, then I wouldn't know that these people found internships, and then I wouldn't know the possibilities on where I could find internships. You know? I don't know. Anyways, I've been reading like books, right? Like I mentioned. And I think so far the books that I've read, there's this one book where I read where it's basically like this woman got married to this guy she fell in love with after a year of dating, and then a week later she left, right? And so the story was basically about that. And I've read a Wattpad book somewhat similar to that once, and I prefer the Wattpad book definitely, but it still gave me that heart-wrenching love that I love to feel when I read a book. And that's when I know that book is like 5 out of 5 stars. The book might have no plot, but if you manage to write the story where I end up sobbing and feeling that like heart-wrenching feeling where I feel like someone's like squeezing my heart and taking it out, that's a 5 out of 5 star book for me. But I'm very picky on books, so I hate when, you know, the thing is, like, I have aunties and uncles who would ask me sometimes, like, oh, like, what do you like to do? Like, what's your hobby? And definitely I would say reading, because that is my hobby. But, you know, then they'll be like, okay, what's your favorite book? My favorite book was a Wattpad book turned into an actual book, like, it got published. And I wouldn't say that because normally people wouldn't even know it exists, one. Second, Wattpad books are because of the grammatical errors. Like, because I truly read for pleasure and not for, you know, that's why I never read nonfiction books. I rarely ever read nonfiction books. And so when people actually like say, whenever I tell someone that my hobby is reading, then they'll be like, oh, then you're pretty smart. Because technically that's how you learn English, I guess, through reading. But the books I read are not, the vocabulary isn't very wide, or is the spelling and grammatical errors, like the spelling and grammatical errors are like very common. But I can spot them out. But see, that's the thing, is the storyline and the plot that actually keeps me there. It's rare that the books I read specifically, that I specifically enjoy, I ever have to like search up what the word means, because it's very simple English. You know? I don't know. Yeah. I saw, like, today was the day that Jungkook's concept photo and short film concept thing came out. And oh my god, you know, there was like a debate on TikTok where people were saying that how is it that Jungkook is like the most famous or something like that. Like, they were basically saying like they can't imagine being like having one bias and then just only liking that bias. So whenever like they post like something as a group and they post like individuals photos or something, and then you only like your biased ones, you don't like the rest of it, right? This might not make sense to anyone else who doesn't know K-pop, but basically I try to think of it in that way, but then I think of it like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, you want to support all of them and not just your bias, that's okay, I agree with that. But at the same time, it's like people think that liking Jungkook specifically is basic, I guess, because he's like the lead singer and stuff. But to me, I feel like the reason why I like Jungkook, first of all, is his looks fits my ideal more than the rest. Second is because his personality suits the kind of, yeah, like it suits me the best as well compared to like, okay, so Taehyung is very old school kind of thing, not my type. Hobie is my bias record, so he kind of is my type. Namjoon is very non-fiction book kind, which I already mentioned. I don't read non-fiction books, so. And then Jungkook is the most like me, where he's like the people that's he's like the people I read in my books, basically. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like this video might be boring, but I just felt like I needed to talk to someone. Oh my god. Okay, so last week I basically didn't go anywhere either because last week was actually Raya Haji, but I didn't go anywhere because I got sick. I at first didn't want to mention anything because I didn't want my like health issues to be on the internet, but at the same time, okay, so basically I've had problems with NHS in the past where first I sprained my ankle like last year, I think, from rugby. And then I tried and I couldn't walk. And then so I couldn't walk. Yeah, I built up the like strength to actually walk all the way to the healthcare center. And I find out that it was closed for training. So then I just never went again because I'm like the next day my foot was fine. Like I could like it still hurt but like it was fine. And then so I've already had a bad impression of the NHS from there because it's like, why are you closed? Like if it wasn't my foot, if it was something horrible, which I'll come to that, it did happen, then if I needed the doctor, how, like, you know? Anyways, so I had like a horrible pain, right, in my bladder, and so that day I was literally like sobbing, and it was so painful. So I thought, okay, let me go get to the healthcare center and like have the help of a doctor to actually like help me out because they're professionals, right? And then so I went, and first of all, they were closed again for training. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? But this is like a different kind of pain. It's not like my foot that sprain because that can like easily heal. Like, you know, it has to just wait a while and heal kind of thing. This is like my bladder. I don't know what is wrong with it. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to the next day. So the next day I went, and then they had like full doctor. Like, I don't know. Okay, that's not their fault. But it was just annoying me because I didn't know you had to like make an appointment compared to, that's one thing I miss about being in Malaysia, because in Malaysia you can just like show up to a clinic, and if they are full, which it's rare, like if they are full, you can always go to a different clinic. There's so many clinics around, you know, like even if you go to the public clinics and like they're full, you can always go to a private one, and they might be full, but there always is a clinic where you could wait for a while and then have an appointment with them straight away, right? Whereas this one, like here you have your NHS number, so it's only registered to one specific GP, right? So I had to go to that healthcare center. I could go to the hospital, but like if I'm in pain, right? Of course I would choose the nearest. You know, I don't know. And then so they were like, okay, I can schedule you in the next day. Okay, anyways, whatever. Went in the next day, woke up very early just to go to this freaking clinic. And so I told them the problem, right? And then she asked, okay, like fever? And I said, kind of. Because the thing is, for me, I'm the type where I try to like fix myself before I ever go to the clinic because of situations like this where, you know, like, so if I feel like kind of feverish or anything, I'll try to take Panadol, or like my health issues always start with my tummy normally. So I would take all the pil chikite on, like the, I don't know, all the gastric kind of medicine, all, and if it's really bad, then only I get myself to the doctor, right? So when she said fever, I said kind of, because basically I had felt feverish, and then I just took a Panadol because of my cramps as well. So that got rid of my fever, you know, simultaneously. And so when I said kind of, she was like, "What do you mean kind of? It's either you have fever or you don't." And then I was just like, because the vibe she was giving off was like as if she didn't believe me. And So I was saying to her like, yeah, I just felt feverish. It's just I had cramps too, so I took a Panadol and it got rid of both. And she's like, oh, okay. And then, okay, so we talked more, and then I said, she was like, describe your pain. And so I said, my bladder hurts. Like, I don't know if that is the wrong part or whatever, but you know when you want to pee, I feel like the part of your body that feels the need to pee is your bladder. Is it not? Where else would it be? So that was the part that hurt. So I was saying to her, my bladder hurts. And you know what she said? She was like, huh? Your bladder? How can your bladder hurt? I'm like, like, it was her tone as well, as if she truly didn't believe me, as if I was there for like no reason at all. I'm like, lady. Okay, I didn't say this to her, but like in my head, I was like, lady, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't, like, if it didn't hurt. And the fact that you're asking me, how can your bladder hurt? I don't know. You tell me. That's why I'm here, you know? Okay, that got me really mad. I'm okay now, but yeah, I just, it makes me so mad. And that's why I feel like I can't trust the clinics here compared to in Malaysia, where I truly can go to any clinic at any time of the day. Because that's the thing, you get sick at any time of the day. It's not like, I don't know, faham tak? Dia macam, kalau kat Malaysia kan, especially, I hate, okay, one thing I don't believe in is MCs, like medical certificates, when you have to miss school. Faham tak? Because I rasakan, macam for example, if I were to live alone, right, and I'm like sick, as long as I can get up and I'm not like sick, I would be at school. So the fact that if I choose not to go to school because I'm sick, don't you think that it's so bad that the person can't even go to school? So why is it you have to go, and then you get better because you take Panadol or whatever, and then you go to school the next day, and then like you have to bring an MC to prove that you were sick. Faham tak? Dia macam, if you were so sick that day that you couldn't go to school, what makes them think that I would be okay to go to a clinic to get an MC? And at the same time, it could be just like something small like a fever. So like that is easily treatable by, like, you know, paracetamol, which I could get without even having to go to the clinic. So why would I need an MC to not go to school? Faham tak? Unless it's like a few days, that I get. Ni macam kalau satu hari you miss school, then you kena macam have an MC to go to school. I mean, if you want to miss school. So I hated that every time, like last time. That's why, I mean, since dulu memang macam I'm the type that if I'm sick pun, macam mana pun I will go to school. Unless memang, that's why whenever I'm sick and I don't go to school, you would see me on the bed, I wouldn't even know who you are. Even though like you're my best friend or anything, I wouldn't know. Because that's how sick I am that I can't even go to school, you know? But, so I hated last time whenever like I was sick like that, and then they will ask me to come to school, bring my MC to show that I was sick. Macam, you know, I don't know lah. I don't know. Anyways, I feel like this video will be too long already. So, I'm gonna go eat lunch. And then I'm just gonna be laying in bed reading on my Kindle. So the book I'm reading right now, let me show you, is Sinners Anonymous. So far I feel like it's very slow, but I've been kind of enjoying it. I don't know. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. That's all I have to say, literally. I am going on a trip in the next few days. Oh, maybe there will be a vlog, maybe not.